Hello guys, welcome to another day in the markets. Today is April 15, Monday. Right now it's 9:30 a.m. and I took a loss today in AU. This was the trade here. Literally after price topping me out, it started reversing to my basically to my target. But yeah, it could also go up now. The market is kind of a little bit confusing, so you guys can see why I took that trade. So let me basically show you guys the reason why I did. So first we can see that price of course broke structure here. It's being very bullish, so there's been a lot of momentum to the downside, right? And also in my session, price had rejected perfectly from the supply zone. When it rejected from this supply zone, we can see that price broke structure. So it broke structure here and then here. So first broke structure here. This was the first break of structure. Then it broke structure here, right? And after breaking that structure, it gave me a discount to this area. So we can see it broke here, and it gave me a discount to this area here, right? So in that area, I sold with my stop loss around this area here, and I was targeting this liquidity sitting here, because if we can see, price didn't broke structure here in this impulse to the upside. So I was considering this break of structure, no, my bad. I was considering this liquidity sitting down there. So I was targeting this for around a little bit less. Actually, it was around this, like a 1 to 2.30, something like that. Yeah, it was like around a 1 to 2.30 of risk reward. But yeah, these things happened. Price just took me out, and then it started going into my favor in this area. So those things happen. It's completely fine. Of course, I'm not gonna lie to you. Usually losing this way makes me a little bit kind of like annoyed, but I can't be, because at the end it's just probabilities. And if I would have considered my stop loss around this area, my risk reward wouldn't be just 1 to 1.4, which is not worth it for me to risk my capital. And this was the actual great entry, because if we can see, we do a Fibonacci, it was perfectly in the 50% discount area. So yeah, it's just the price didn't reject it to my zone, and that's fine. But yeah, we will see if price actually continue dropping and my bias was correct. But yeah, also something that it's important to mention, that might be also one of my mistakes in here, is that when my trade was considered, price in DXY took yesterday's high, Friday's high, sorry. And if we can see, Friday's high is in this area here. And usually when this happens, we should understand that there's a divergence, and the one that did it already, usually like DXY has more weight than AU. I should have considered that DXY already took Friday's high for me to consider, instead of sells, consider buys in AU, because there were more chances that if price took Friday's high in DXY, that I wanted to do something like this and then drop. So if DXY drops, AU goes up. So most of the times, of course. So yeah, that was maybe my mistake, that I should have considered that divergence as change of bias towards buying in AU. But yeah, it's fine. I had all my confirmations this trade. I don't feel bad based on my strategy, because it was basically in confluence with everything I do. But yeah, I've lost 3 trades in a row, so I'm in a losing streak right now. But still, my account of my 25k challenge account, it's in like minus 1.4%, around that. So I just need one trade of 1 to 2 to be in profit in my account, or at least get to a break-even point. So I'm not worried about that, and let's move on to see what happens tomorrow, Tuesday, in the markets. See you guys. Before going, guys, so it's 10:06 a.m. New York time, and you guys can see price, it's almost reaching my target, which was this one. So yeah, it was a perfect trade. It's literally gonna reach now. It was a perfect trade for basically a 1 to 2.24, so more or less around 2.24% of profit in my account. You guys can see it already reached my TP. So yeah, it was a perfect trade, all my confluences. So yeah, there's nothing I can do about it rather than just put it in my journal, understand it, and move on to the next trade, because remember, always the most important trade is the next trade. So yep, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, welcome to another day in the markets. Today is April 16, and I'm currently looking at AU as always. So it's 8:38 in the morning New York time. So if we can see, we're in here, April 16 at 8:30 CPI dropped, but for Canadian dollar. Right now, I understand that price of it's rejecting from this zone here, but if you guys can see, there's price has been consolidating throughout this zone, so I don't like that, to be honest. And there's also no break of structure, so we can see that this is basically the structure right now. So this is the last high, this is the last low, and price right now it's like consolidating here. So there hasn't been any break of structure or to the upside or to the downside. It's just consolidating around this zone here. That's what I'm interpreting right now. So yeah, that's basically it. I would like to see like a more clear break of structure, or for price to reach this zone and then look for sales. So let me erase this. Maybe for price to reach this zone and then look for some sales. But if not, I just consider this a consolidation stage. So maybe price can do this, take this high and then drop, or the other. Also, I would like maybe if price do this, take this low here and then go up. That will also be valid because this is yesterday's low. So yeah, that's what I'm currently looking at, and I'll catch you guys when I see something more clear. Okay guys, so it's 9:20 a.m. New York time, and we're finally out of that consolidation. As we can see, price already broke this low, which was yesterday's low. So now I want to see how price reacts, to see if it actually takes liquidity from this low or if it continues dropping. The XY, it's bullish right now, but the only difference is that the XY, it actually broke structure. So we can see it broke structure here, and then it broke structure in here. So based on that, it's possible for price maybe to continue dropping in the XY, but I understand that the whole trend is completely bullish. So if I'm based in the trend right now, I prefer for buying in the XY, which means continue selling in AU. So if that's the case, I'll wait for price to reach this zone in the 1 hour and to see how price rejects in this area here. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay guys, so it's 6:49 a.m. and this is completely bearish. I was looking maybe for a confirmation, like maybe no, like literally I was looking for a confirmation here in this supply. I was maybe expecting for price to go a little bit higher around this area, and I was going to wait for a supply zone to be created in the 1 minute for me to enter around like something like this. My stop loss around here, targeting a 1 to 2. I understand that there's no clear target here. When it will be like around 1 to 1, I was going to move my stop loss to break even. So that was basically my plan. But yeah, it didn't happen. Why? Because I was basing most of it based on DXY, and DXY, this is what I'm looking for. Of course, I don't trade DXY, I only use it as a confluence. But I loved how price was rejecting here. Price was completely bullish in DXY, so I'm basically expecting for at least to price take this liquidity here, and ideally to take this high here. So that's basically my bias in DXY, which means that if that happens and it continues going up, it's very likely for AU to continue dropping. Okay guys, so it's 10 a.m. New York time, and as you guys can see, as I was expecting, price respected this zone here. So after breaking structure in here, personally I was looking for sales around this area here. We had the appropriate reversal, but because it was a little bit low for me, I was preferring to see price reaching, like when they do like this, to reach like a zone around this area. So I was looking for price to go a little bit higher, and then I would have considered some sales. If we see properly in AU, that didn't happen, but in DXY it did. You guys can see that this first reversal, this one here, that was the first reversal that you guys can see in AU. But DXY actually dropped a little bit more to this point here, and then it started going to the upside properly. So that's what I was looking in AU, for price to just go a little bit higher, take some liquidity here, and then start dropping. But the real question was actually, where was my target? There's no like clear target. If I could say maybe one, I would have chosen this one for price to mitigate this whole gap in the daily time frame, because there's actually no clear target. So it was a risky trade. That's why I was very attentive to detail to see if price actually respected what I wanted to see. But yeah, I was completely biased towards sales after price broke this structure, because the overall trend is completely bearish and it has continued dropping and dropping. So we must understand that we can't go against the market's trend. We just have to go in flow with the market trend. So if the market trend was bearish, it's better for us to look for sales. That's why I was looking for that. Price didn't give me any confirmation here, so that's why I didn't take any trades, and it's very likely that today is going to be a no trading day. Okay guys, so it's currently 11:17 a.m. New York time, and I'm not going to take any trades for today. My session is already finished, so I didn't take any trades. Honestly, I realized that I was feeling kind of a little bit of FOMO, and I was kind of chasing the price, because honestly there was no very clear entry for me today, because actually there was not a very clear confirmation in the 1 hour. So that's why after making my conclusions, I felt that I was chasing the price, because if there was no clear confirmation in the 1 hour, why I was looking for selling so desperately and lowering my entry point, just basically chasing price. So that's not right. I understand, of course, that price was completely bearish, and that's the overall trend in the higher time frames and also in the lower time frames. But if there's no clear confirmation in the 1 hour, there's no trade. Simple as that. So I need to actually learn from this. Thankfully, I didn't take trades. It doesn't matter if I would have won or I didn't, but at the end I was disrespecting my plan because there was no clear confirmation in the 1 hour. So yeah, that's basically all for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, Wednesday, to see if we can make some profit. Hey guys, welcome to a new day in the markets. Today is April 17. It's Wednesday, and I'm looking as always to AU. I already placed an order here in CTrader, an order limit, a buy limit. As you guys can see, this is what I'm looking. So you guys can see the price, it's basically changed direction completely. It's in a bullish trend right now. So it took this low here, it went up again, broke structure here, so multiple breakout structures to the upside, and that's why I'm basically looking at that. So yeah, that's basically my trade idea. Of course, I understand that price just took this high here, which was yesterday's high, so now it could drop as well, but because the trend changed and now it's in a bullish trend, I expect more for buys, understanding that there's a lot of gaps above. So it already did like a quick fake out yesterday. It took liquidity and then it broke structure. So I like a lot this zone here, the one that I have in gray. I like that zone a lot. So that's why I'm looking more for buys than for sells. So yeah, that's what I'm basically looking at. So price, it's dropping now. So that's basically what I'm looking for. It's also valid the option of basically price, like this analysis, took liquidity from yesterday's high, now it can drop. So basically do something like this. Let me do it here in another one. So basically price could be also analyzed this way. So price took liquidity from yesterday's high, and now we should just wait for a breakout structure in this side here for price to do something like this. Give us here and then continue dropping. Those two scenarios are valid. Actually, they are very valid, but that's basically what I'm looking at right now. I don't know why, like, of course I know why, but I strongly believe that right now buys are more viable. But honestly, if we see the whole trend, we're very bearish, but there's still gaps above here, and in my opinion, you can see all this liquidity here sitting above these highs here, which are basically 3 equal highs in the 15 minute. We can see in the 5 minute, 3 equal highs sitting here. So I would like to see price to do this, and at least to take these highs, these equal highs, which for me are liquidity. So yeah, that's basically what I'm looking for. Also, one of the reasons I like this setup is because usually if there would have been a lot of momentum to the downside, when price took this yesterday's high, it would have gone down like immediately, right? But if you guys can see, it's been consolidating. So it's basically been 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours that price takes liquidity, drops, takes liquidity, drops, takes liquidity, drops, takes liquidity, drops. Like there's not too much momentum to the downside. There's a lot of buyers here, so that's why I would like to consider this liquidity to see a reversal to around a 50% discount, and then buy towards basically this zone here, that if we can see it in the 4 hours or in daily, it's an interesting point for us to target. Okay guys, so it's currently 10 a.m. New York time and price started reversing. I'm still considering this buy actually because I like the change and the shift of structure. Also, there's liquidity previous to my zone, which is this, so I honestly consider that price is gonna keep dropping here, and I would like to see price rejecting from this area to the upside. So like you guys know, I trade until 11 a.m. New York time maximum. So let's see if price actually reach my zone in my trading session, and if not, it's a no trading day. So I'm not looking for sales, I'm looking only for buys around this area here. So yeah, that's basically what I'm looking. Guys, so it's currently almost 11 a.m. New York time, so it's my session is almost done. This is basically the trade. So you guys can see I'm still waiting for price to activate my entry, which is around this point here. But I really respect my plan, so if price reach this zone before 11, that's fine. But if it's 11 and it hasn't reached, I'm done for the day. I'm not gonna take this trade. It can definitely work, like 100% after 11 a.m. But based on my data and my rules, it's better not to take the trade if it's past 11 a.m. So I'll catch you guys later to see if actually we have a trade or we don't. Well, guys, so it's officially 11 a.m. New York time. So I'm gonna close the trade. So there was no trade for me today. Price can easily come here a little bit later, react in this zone, and then go to the upside. But yeah, now whatever happens after 11 a.m., it's not calculated risk. It's not based on probabilities. So that's why I deleted my trade, because I don't have data that proves that my strategy works after 11 a.m. Actually, it proves the opposite based on what I've tested. So yeah, that was all for today, guys. This is basically a good example of circumstances that we really must stick to our trading rules and our trading plan. Because let's say hypothetically that I keep this trade going and then it reached my zone and activates my trade and I lose, then what? Of course, I'm gonna be angry with me because I didn't follow my rules. So it wasn't a good trade. It was actually a bad loss. So that's why it's very important to follow our rules, stick to our plan, and base every single decision we make in the markets, base that on probabilities, not in just luck or gambling. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, Thursday, to see if we can make some profit. See you guys. Hey guys, so quick update. Right now is 1:25 p.m. New York time, and this is how the trade looks right now. As you guys know, and I said before, my rules consist that I take trades maximum until 11 a.m. New York time. I was waiting my whole session for this trade, but it actually reached my zone at 12 p.m. New York time. And you guys can see it started rocket launching, already broke structure to the upside, which in my opinion, it looks very promising. And is that it's basically following trend. It broke structure here, took liquidity, respected this demand zone here, and now it's pushing up. And also, if you guys can see, it literally respected perfectly this demand zone of the 15-minute. It literally reached perfectly. So it is a high quality trade. That's unfortunate that it happened a little bit after my session closed. But yeah, that's all for today. It was a very nice trade. Unfortunately, we didn't take it because it was out of our session. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, welcome to a new day in the markets. Today is April 18. Right now it's 8:22 a.m. New York time. I'm currently looking at AU. You guys can see that price have been going to the upside for quite a long time. It started going up around Tuesday, and today is basically Thursday, and we kind of see a small reversal. Price reached an interesting zone that it's not only this zone here, but it's also a daily zone, which is this one. I would like to see maybe a whole reversal from this point, taking this like trend line. That for me it's liquidity. So that's what I would like to see. But first, we must understand that today at 8:30 a.m. we have high impact news. So we must first wait for what happened with those ones to see if it goes up and like takes liquidity from here and then drops, or if it just breaks structure here, because at least in my opinion there's no break of structure yet, because this is the closest low for me to consider a break of structure. So for me to consider sales, I would like to see for price taking this, then reversing, and then selling from this point to here. But if that doesn't happen, then I'll look for buys at least to take this equal highs or something that for me could be liquidity. So that's what I'm looking for. Let's see when news drop. I would really love to see price breaking structure here for me then to look for a selling opportunity, because like I said, there's still a lot of gaps here and also liquidity sitting down here, so I maybe expect for price to drop this session. Okay guys, so basically this is what I'm expecting. So as you guys know, I don't trade Euro USD, but in Euro USD we can see a clean break of structure, and it's very similar. So you guys can see, so it broke this structure here, so then I will be waiting for price to reverse and sell from this area, right? It's basically the same here. The only difference is that in EU it broke structure, in AU it didn't, because this is in here, this is the nearest low, which I'm gonna draw it here. This is basically the nearest low here, and there's still no break of structure. So that's basically why I'm not considering selling by now. And also in DXY, it's very similar to what happened in AU. Let's remember that this is basically the opposite, so the inverse. But if we change, like if we shift the camera, we can see this, right? So a low, then a high, and then a broke structure, right? If we go to Euro USD, look, it's basically the same thing. So a low, new high, broke structure. So that's basically what I'm looking, but there's still no break of structure in AU, so at least by now there's no trade for me. Hey guys, so it's 9:24 and so far there's no trade for us. Price, let's see what happens. Okay guys, so finally we had the break of structure in this side here. I'm gonna analyze if I consider actually this zone here, because despite having liquidity here, it's kind of interesting as well, but like I said, I'm more biased towards selling in this area. So yeah, let me double check everything and to see if actually I put a trade around this area. Hey guys, to be honest with you, I checked, I'm more biased towards buying in this zone. The reason for that is because if we flip charts, we can see that there was liquidity here, right? Price took this liquidity in this side, so it just took it and it's now rejecting to a very nice zone that if we can see. So price took liquidity here, broke structure here and here as well. This side broke structure again. Now it's giving the reversal with liquidity sitting in this zone, so it's very likely for price to reject, understanding of course that it's also supported in this zone in DXY. So it's a supply zone in DXY, which is a demand zone in AU. So that's basically what I'm looking, and I usually really like to take trades when I see liquidity above my target. So actually my target will be this equal highs, right? And before that there's a lot of liquidity, so it's very likely for price to do this. So that's what I'm looking. Let's see if actually there's a confirmation for buying. Okay guys, so I would like to see this basically for price to take this low here and then for it to break this structure, small discount and buy. That's what I'm looking for. Hey guys, so it's 10:48 a.m. New York time, and I decided that I'm not gonna take any trades today. Like I said, I was waiting for a break of structure in the 5 minutes in this zone, but unfortunately price didn't give me that break of structure. Okay guys, so it's 10:50 a.m. New York time, and I decided that I'm not gonna take any trades today. Like I said, I was waiting for a break of structure in the 5 minutes around this area for me to consider buying, but there was no clear confirmation. And also, if we see, let's say that hypothetically we were going to sell, there was no clear confirmation in this zone, rather than just full zones of liquidity above this zone, which make this area not too valid. And overall we were bullish right now, so took this liquidity, broke structure, then broke structure again to here, gave discount, reacted to gap. So now it's very likely for price to continue going to the upside. So I was waiting for a confirmation in this area for me to take some buys. There was no confirmation. I was waiting for exactly this. So price reached that zone. Let me erase this. So price broke structure here, reached that zone here. I was waiting for something like this, and then a clear break of structure in the 5 minutes for me to look for a discount and then buy. But there was no break of structure here. The nearest break of structure right now will be for price to reach this zone and break it to the upside, because as you guys can see, there's no clear break of structure. It's just a whole impulse reversal, and it could just easily drop again. So that's why I didn't take any trades today, and no trading day for me. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, Friday, last day of the week, to see if we can make some profit or see if we can actually take a trade. See you guys. Hello guys, welcome to a new day in the markets. Today is Friday, April 19. It's 8:40 a.m. New York time. I'm honestly at this point watching for buying opportunities. If we can see price after taking this low here, this Tuesday's low, it started pushing up very fast and with a lot of momentum. We can see actually the liquidity grab way better in the 4-hour or in the 1-hour, and even better in the daily. So I honestly think that price might want to take this high in this session or in the couple of hours. So that's why I'm looking for buys. We can see price just rejected perfectly from this gap here, broke structure. So now I'm looking for a discount towards these areas here to see another confirmation and buy. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay guys, so I programmed a buy limit order in this area here. That is where the break of structure, the first break of structure, it's located, and we can see it way more clean in the 5 minutes. So we can see that price took liquidity from this lows here, then it broke structure with a lot of momentum. I expect for price to give us a discount that it's a little bit more than 50% discount, and then buy from this area here. I placed my stop loss around this area, below this low, below these lows, and I'm targeting a little bit higher. I would like to see maybe a distribution towards this high here, but I will see how price reacts around this area here. So as this area here, of course, if price gives me the discount and it goes above this last high, I'll put my stop loss to break even and then see what happens with price around this area. I'm waiting for price to reach my entry point, which is this one. I'm buying in AU. We can see it's a very nice trade, and also in DXY we basically have the opposite. So we have a very nice clean supply zone in DXY, and it's basically occurring the same thing in AU but in the opposite side, for a demand zone, so for a buying opportunity. So yeah, that's basically what I'm waiting. Price already reached in DXY. I expect for price to fill this gap here in DXY. It will be nice to see that, and let's see if price actually reach my zone and reacts to the upside. If it reacts to the upside and it mitigates this high here, I'll move my stop loss to break even and then hold my trade for around 1 to 2. Honestly, if this works, there's possibilities for price to continue to the upside and maybe take this high here, but I will see, because it's just Friday and usually I don't like to hold trades for too long on Fridays. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, let's see if it gets activated. Okay, my order is activated now. Okay guys, so I have to go. Unfortunately, I'm not able to record the whole live trade video, but I'll update you guys on what happened, if we win, if I decide to take break even, if I close the trade manually, or whatever happens. So I'll see you guys next week and I'll update you guys whatever happens in this trade. Okay guys, so that was all for this week. I finished this week in minus 0.7% for my account, my Prop Firm Challenge account of 25k. I took 2 trades on Monday, the trade that I lost, and on Friday the trade that I won 0.3% of profit in my account. To be honest, I should have closed that trade earlier, because there was not only a decrease, like a substantial decrease in liquidity in the markets, because of course it was Friday, but also because price was rejecting in a very important point that I should have considered a valid exit point. So yeah, that was all for this week. Let's see if this upcoming week it's way better and we can actually end up with more profit, and see if we can actually recover from past weeks and get again to a break-even position. So yeah, that was all for this week. I see you guys next week.